everybody. It is me, Master and Juniper Bloom Mystique. I have something very important I want to talk to you about today. Something very important. Yesterday, I did an ascension-based Return of Christ healing live on this YouTube channel, and immediately somebody had complained and they banned it. I protested, but it will not be put back up here because I undid the medical matrix. I didn't know what was going to come through in that, but let me tell you, it was massive. And of course, they're not going to let that be seen, but it doesn't stop it from already happening. Just because YouTube banned my freedom of speech doesn't stop that from already being done. So the thing is the shadow cannot stop the ascension at all. Everything is pretty much done, but it can stop you from ascending, and it will try to. That is all it has left. Okay. The shadow cannot stop the ascension. So no matter how many times people want to try to stop it, they never have been able to. I won the whole way. We've won the whole way through. Love truly did win. And I have the beautiful new twin flame to prove that too. So the only thing it can do is stop you. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about that video in a way that I can. You will be able to access that video on other platforms, and I will discuss that in a moment because what came out in that video was massive and very important for you to heal out of for the ascension. But no matter what, it's changing the earth. It will change the earth either way. I also want to discuss with you today the planetary alignment that's coming in tomorrow. I talked about that recently, that this month we had a planetary alignment that was very important. And it also goes with the inauguration day. And that is part 2, day 2 of birthing the new earth energies. So I'll show you that in a moment too. For now, I'm going to give you a little message that came from Spirit this morning for all of you. It says, push past the resistance. It will stop you from ascending otherwise. Okay? I've watched this happen. With the work that I do with the ascension, the only thing the shadow has against you or to utilize in their power now, because it's all been removed from the earth, is against you individually. Okay, so there will be things that will try to stop you, especially from the work that I do. But no matter what, it's affecting the whole earth, what I do. So the resistance, which is the shadow, will work against you in every way. It will get in your head. It will convince you of false timelines, fear. It gets you to pick up any of that, giving your power away to the shadow. And that resistance, it can be a physical barrier that you feel. It can be in your head. It can be all of this chaotic instances that, oh, this will occur if you do that, and this will occur if you do that, and money's more important, and it will use everything it can against you. So you have to push past those illusions, because that's what they are until you give them power. You have to push past that resistance. And I do mean it's resistance. I have literally watched people fall that were supposed to rise with the return of Christ, okay? And that affects all of you. So the resistance will be strong. And part of that was with the undoing of the medical matrix yesterday. I'm not going to speak too many specific words on it, but I will tell you exactly where you can find it. Because there was a very quick removal of that one, and I was blown away at what came through that one. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. But no matter what, they can't stop that from affecting you either way. They can only stop people from seeing truths. That's what they try to do, and that's what they've always tried to do. Okay, they provide this illusionary reality and these false thoughts and these false timelines and a fear-based matrix system, which is the Antichrist system. And the medical matrix system was no exception to that rule. And it doesn't matter what you want to think. You know the symbolism with like the staff and the 2 wings and the 2 snakes? Yeah, that was undone yesterday. And they stole power. And they should not have done that. Okay, and it all came out in there and then some. That healing actually has to process through your spinal fluid. It was a big deal. And some of the stuff that came through that was pretty intense. So no coincidence to why it upset people, to why it was immediately removed from my platform, because it was very real and it's very deep rooted into the matrix system. And it does make people sick. Okay. It just does. False things. Fear alone can make people sick. So let's listen. So push past the resistance. It will stop you from ascending otherwise. That is so important. You guys push past the resistance. You don't have time. If I give you something, this is why I don't give a lot of things away for free. I've actually did that recently and I'm like, there's resistance being applied. I can feel it and I can see it. There will be things that get in your energy that say, oh, you can't do this right now. The world will try to distract you. Time will try to distract you. Anything. You have to push past that resistance and you need to do things immediately that are nudges from the heart space, okay? Especially soul path alignments. So, things have not been what they seemed to be. This is the message that I channeled through for you guys. Things have not been what they seemed to be. They have not. No matter how weird and cuckoo luku and how many times you want to say it's conspiracy theories, no, it's not. Okay. Um, it lost that clout a long time ago when a majority of the earth began to see the truth and began to rise from the illusions that they have been feeding you. So things have not been what they seemed to be. They have not. And that keeps coming out in the work that I do. See, what I do is remove the matrix. What I did was remove all darkness from the light and truly return Christ. And that has been done on so many layers. I'm not even sure what's left. Every time I think I'm done, I'm not, right? But I'm good with that. I don't want to be done. Because it's true, like the matrix is falling, and there's nothing you can do to stop that, to stop the ascension, and to stop the rebirth of mankind. The great reset of mankind is occurring right now. The only thing that can happen is it can stop you. And it will use resistance of all forms to do it. And so if you give your power away to any of that resistance and you don't push past it with a vengeance and just anchoring into the right things and spiritual discipline and healing all of those layers, trust me when I tell you, you can't ascend. So it is important to know, see, and heal all that was not, and rise into sovereignty and truth. Okay? Push past the resistance, it will stop you ascending otherwise. Things have not been what they seem to be. Okay? And it is important to know, see, and heal all that was not, and rise, into sovereignty and truth. They will try to stop you. That was all they have left that they can do. Okay. That is the only power that they have left that they can use against you is resistance, fear, manipulation, lies, to try to anchor you in. And that was the system. Now, I wish I could truly tell you all the details of what happened yesterday because I did it live on YouTube. I didn't want to charge anybody for it. The Return of Christ work, a majority of it is on YouTube. The problem is even when things are free and available, people still have a hard time seeing. Not only that, I sparked a very large shadow yesterday, very large final component of a shadow and part of the false antichrist system. Okay. They took a lot of power from the light and they used it against you for their agenda. And that is what they would do on all levels. Okay. And the medical matrix is no exception to that rule. We have the money matrix, the Sistine Chapel. The Sistine Chapel, when I do these things, I don't understand the totality of them until I process them through because I'm the pure channel. I show up for my heart nudges and I use my light and I bring what comes through. Then I process it. So the Sistine Chapel was undone right before the presidential election, right before, and the money matrix undoing as well. And in the Sistine Chapel, I didn't know what I was doing until afterwards, but There were angels that were actually held hostage, held captive under there. So the ground of the Sistine Chapel opened. All of the angel images started peeling off the ceiling there, you know, the paintings of the cherub angels or whatever they were. And it turns out that that is who they were holding the souls of, is cherub angels. Cherub angels are very important because they were the protectors of the Garden of Eden. Okay, Adam and Eve. So when you know the work that I've done and you see the truth and you're willing to be open to the totality of who I am and what I've done, it's easier for you to rise. But you better believe the resistance will be tenfold towards what I do because it's very real. And I do mean very real. Okay. Now I triggered part of the system yesterday, but in that there was this satellite in Alaska. I think I can say that. That's one of the things that came out yesterday. And the that part of the matrix removal. Um, the MEDICAL field one. There was this large satellite that they were using, and it was like this weird electrical impulses. And there were talks of things that are placed within us that scramble our energetic system. Okay. And so all of these things are happening right now and they're being pushed through me for a reason and very quickly. During the work that I do, there were a lot of attacks on me, and I do mean a lot, and including from and not limited to those that rose with me. They didn't push past the resistance. So a lot of these things, it wasn't supposed to just be me healing them for you guys in the Return of Christ work. But I'm honored to do it. And nothing will stop me. Nothing has stopped me. Nothing will stop me, including my DM dying and getting a new one. He did. That story was intense alone. Okay. But a battle I would do again. I love my new DM. So I got a walk-in twin soul for this journey. Like I have let nothing stop me. I have always pushed past the resistance. And for me to show up yesterday and do that live, there was resistance against me as well. It started at like 3 a.m. Every time that would come up in my head to do that one, to undo that part of the matrix system, something would tell me, no, that's not real. And I would feel it in my solar plexus. Like, yeah, you're just making that. Anything would come in. And I'd be like, no, that doesn't make sense. I've done many of these and they all make sense. So I pushed past it. Then doing the live, it was like one thing went wrong after the other to try to get there. And I pushed past that. And then as soon as I did it, people unfollowed one of my channel and then I got flagged for whatever and they removed my video because it was a live. They almost stole my video from me. I had to search for it and work to get that back and then record it again. And I did. Okay. So you can actually witness that video. It is available now on Patreon, along with all other massive moon healings that I have been doing over the last few years on there. There's a lot of them. So you can actually join Patreon and you will have that. You will have lots of healings on there to access, and I do mean lots of them. Or you can get it in the Path to Righteousness, and you can also purchase it individually off of Patreon. But I can't post it on YouTube anymore for now. For now. For now. I have a feeling you'll find it in my Return of Christ list eventually. But it is important to heal out of that component of the matrix, just like all of the other ones that I've done. Religion, the money matrix, the false concept of time is another bit of that, because these are all the things they use against you. Okay, they use time against you. They use this weird energy scrambulation. That's kind of what came out yesterday. It was insane. There was this, so they talked about Alaska, Zimbabwe, I think China came out in that one. Let's see. There was a lot. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to trigger anything else. But this was what was mentioned in undoing that matrix part yesterday for the medical field one. China, Alaska kept being heightened, and there was like this false wall of illusion and this very large satellite, and something about all of these little satellites just bursting into flames and things. That was a part of what came out in there. So you wouldn't even think that, right? For that type of removal of the matrix. But it was real. And it was very important to understand that. And also like women birthing things and how those were messed with, and um basically they said that you guys are lab rats. Okay? And so there's something I want you to see really quick, okay? Because I found this today, and it actually goes with some of what came out in that healing yesterday. And it might be something you want to pay attention to. I'm going to tell you right now is even though they have blocked it, it does not stop that from being undone in the collective earth, okay? The only thing it can stop is you from ascending. So let's do this. So I'm used to, hang on a second. Bear with me because I want to show you this. Okay. I'm not going to really read this out loud, but hopefully you can see it. Okay. So this I saw this morning, and when you read this, it goes right along with what happened and kind of what came out yesterday. It wasn't just about what you would think it was about. There was a lot that came out yesterday. Okay, and I do mean a lot. So I'm gonna try to magnify this even more if it'll let me. No, that's it. Okay. Um, so it's okay, I'm gonna read it. A significant piece of this plan hinged on the use of etheric implants and quantum holographic technology. These implants inserted energy fields often before birth, designed to receive specific frequencies or signals through these things that they would use. Malevolent factions project fear, and that came out a lot yesterday. All of that actually came out yesterday in undoing that part of the matrix. And you have to undo it through your spinal fluid. So, it creates fear stuff and illusions and manipulation of your perception of the world around you, because that's how they use those things against you. Is they create resistance, they create false understandings of the world around you, false timelines, and if you give your power to any of that, you miss your mark. Okay, so that's why they do that. Plus, if you believe any of those things to be true, you will create them in your reality, because you are a powerful creator. Okay. So that's what they use, is a lot of these false things, fear, greed, right? Money being more important than anything. Time. Oh, time is something they use big time. Um, Judgment, right? And also expectations, and false imagery. So they get in our head, and I've talked about that. 666 is the mark of the beast, because they will get in your head and they will mess with what you see and what you believe to be true. And so it'll be thoughts of negativity. It'll be thoughts of, if this happens, this is going to happen to you. If you do this, this is going to happen. And it only becomes real if you believe that to be true. You have to be able to call your power back of the mind. And I've been talking about this since I did Mount Shasta. And you have to be able to push past that resistance. Because if you pick up any of those things, if you're like, nope, if I follow God, I'm going to get hurt, or my kids are going to get, that's all. They will use whatever matters most to you. Okay. They mess with your free will, and that's how they do it. Think of it as tuning a radio to your particular station. So that's what I'm talking about. What kept coming through yesterday was this big satellite in Alaska. And that was part of that system that I took down. It was a big part of it. And then it went into other things that I can't really mention here. But I'm going to tell you right now, they were very important. Okay. And it also said in there what you need to do to make it through these next coming times. Okay. So think of it as a tuning radio to your particular station. If your energy field is carrying those things, you become more receptive to the broadcast. Okay. The next step involved advanced quantum holographic technology, projecting extremely realistic visuals, sensations, and even auditory illusions into the human psyche. The crazy thing about that is a lot of that came out yesterday. I was like, whoa. And so, and it is up in here. So let's see. So I'm putting it, so I had the removal of the matrix virus wall because that's why they say in the end you will be wrapped with plagues. It's not because God gave you those plagues, it's because that was part of what they do. Okay. So I am putting it in here because as well as undoing the virus matrix wall, we have to undo the medical matrix wall. And that's part of the ascension. Okay, these are very important to heal, not just to see. Seeing isn't always enough. You have to be able to heal them. Okay, so I don't think it's been fully uploaded. Let's check. So I am putting it in here. Yeah, undoing that matrix right there. Okay, so it will be put in here. And right now you can find it on Patreon, as well as tons of other healings on here. If you want to join Patreon, I do them every month with the full moon energy, and they're always ascension based because part of what I did for the ascension is heal all of the moon, okay, and the sun. Now, tomorrow we have a planetary alignment that I had talked about earlier in this month of being important for this month, as well as the inauguration. Okay. So that goes with day 2 of birthing the new earth. In day 2 of birthing the new earth, I did something to all of the planets as they aligned. Okay. And so these energies are what they're palpable. They are very powerful right now. So we have that on top of the inauguration at the same time. There are no coincidences to what is happening, okay? There are no coincidences. I do mean zero to what is happening and what will continue to happen in your reality, okay? There isn't. And you can find all of this proof in all of the work that I do from freeing Jesus's soul to clearing Mount Shasta 1 and 2, activating pyramids from Fiji, Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Peru, Thailand. I always forget about Thailand. This one was when I started healing the sun. And then more. I can't remember what that one is, but it's very important. Eliminate the false negative pull of the energy of the moon. Okay, so in Patreon, you will find so many moon healings in there also, and more, as well as the newest one, this one that I did yesterday. Okay. Um, but what you guys need to understand is here's the time, false concept of time. This is part of the matrix system. Meditation to remove the matrix and more. These are pyramid activations, the Sphinx activation and awakening. A brand new chakra system that was hidden, a dormant chakra system. Now, all of this work that I was doing to undo the matrix had to occur including bringing down the blood of Christ. That came through yesterday too. Something with blood. Okay. Very important to understand that. And again, they removed it from YouTube. We still do not have freedom of speech. Oh, hail to the nah. Hail to the nah. Anybody else can talk about nasty things. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find all kinds of cray-cray stuff, except for what's truth? Okay, so recalibration, Revelations 21:13. That one should actually be blocked. I processed the Earth's death. Jesus' soul finally united with my new DM. The UK is not free. Plus, I predicted the fires. I told you guys that. I showed you guys that. That's on here in my 2025 predictions. I told you Trump would be president, and he was. Everything I've done is playing out in your reality, and everything I've said is truly coming true. the Nile portal. Y666 is the mark of the beast. Horus returning. That was so cool. But you guys, also religion needing to be removed. That is another shadow component. Okay. Then we have birthing the new earth. God shifted time. Okay, this is why things are happening super fast. Okay. Now here is day 2 of new earth creation. These are real. This is just like the Bible talks about on day 1. God did this, Adam and Eve. He took mine and my DM's cords and put it into the core of the earth on day 1, and the matrix was completely removed from the new earth energy. There is a border, there is a wall, and the Nile is the final portal you have to get through. There's 13 of gates, not 12. Okay? They lied to you. 13th is heaven on earth. That's the new earth. And then the planetary alignment is day 2, and that's we're in those energies. It's really hitting the earth tomorrow, and there will be something with the sun and the moon, so some more solar flares probably. And then also the inauguration of Trump. So this goes through 6 days of new earth birthings, and then on day 7 there were 12 trumpets, and they said 3 major events will occur to start looking up. Then day 8 is the final portal, life, death, rebirth cycle. Okay, end of time, heart reviews applied. And this is what we're going through. Okay. Um, it's very real. Okay. The portal for the angels, we will walk amongst them, undoing the money matrix, undoing the Sistine Chapel, undoing all power of the pentagram, and closing all portals of darkness. And all these crows flew out of all my chakras. Who God says will win the election. I told you that one and it came true. And more, okay, and more. I told you about the submersible, and that came true. So, everything I've said is happening right in front of your eyes. Um, let's see. 2025 predictions. I don't know if I put it in here. I guess I didn't. That's also on my channel, and I told you I predicted the fires. That's also true. Okay. I'm going to really quick put those in here. Those are on my channel right here. But the thing is, you guys, is they continually try to stop you from seeing truth, because the only thing they have against anything right now is to not allow you to ascend. So who is the Antichrist? What is it? But I just want to put a couple in that playlist for you. The predictions for 2025. Okay. I told you about the fires, and they have already occurred. Here it is, 2025 predictions. I will put it in the Return of Christ work playlist. And also what came through was the fires. I told you those were coming. I predicted the fires and something will be exposed into Palisades. I literally said that in the 2025 predictions, that there will be mass fires, unprecedented. But it wasn't about them telling you where, because they're not trying to spark fear and you couldn't stop them. You cannot stop. That one's already in there. You cannot stop this work. Okay, you cannot. You cannot stop the ascension. The only thing that can happen is the shadow can stop you from ascending. Okay. The shadow can absolutely, unequivocally stop you from ascending by using resistance, making you not take action and healing, making you throw judgment at Return of Christ work, you choosing to give your power away to the shadow over the light, thinking there's a timeline that is not real, thinking you have time, worrying about the past, thinking about the future, not being in your full power through every avenue of the fallen matrix, from the health, our bodies, our minds, to our soul. You have to be soul path aligned. Okay. And no matter how much they try to stop me, they never could. I won. Love won. Okay. And they will never stop me. The only thing they can do is stop you. But that is up to you. That is where free will comes in and where your heart really is. And I have literally watched people care more about money, care more about things that don't matter. things where the new earth, it's all about freedom and truth and love and joy and union and collaboration and happiness and abundance. So much abundance, but true abundance, the divine abundance. Okay. And we can't do that outside of the house of God anymore, outside of light. We can no longer be duality. We cannot carry shadow into the light. And I said that when I undid the Holy Grail. I said that when I brought down the blood of Christ, and I keep saying it. We cannot carry the shadow in any way, shape, or form into the light. It takes a lot of healing. And the more they distract you from healing, the more they distract you from rising, the earth won't wait for you. Okay? And it's not about fear, it's about taking your power back. So if you want to heal in the one I did yesterday, the medical matrix healing, you can get that on Patreon or in the path to righteousness. The path to righteousness is everything you need to heal through into the new earth. It is everything, including aligning with all your karma, allowing you to see everything clearly. I have awakening in there. It's everything. Healing the virus wall. Um, it's everything. It truly is. But you have to choose love. You have to choose love. You have to push past resistance. And believe me when I tell you, this stuff is very real. Okay. This is truly what they call the rapture, the end of time, the end of ways. Um, it is all of that. Okay. So know what you're doing, know what you're paying attention to. Seeing is not always enough because let me tell you, you can't see everything. I know people who see me to a certain level, but they still do not see the totality because there's more healing to do. Okay. And when that healing rises, there will be resistance to stop you. So push past all resistance. Don't think, do it. Okay. The reason there's a mental health crisis is because there was an emotional stunting that was put upon you. We were made to be outside of our bodies rather than inward. Stay inward and push past the resistance. What came out yesterday in that matrix removal video is very important for you to understand what you have to do to make it through these times because it was an important message of what it's a warfare. Okay, this is World War III. You're in it. You are in it. Be aware of your surroundings. And of course, there's big resistance for my work to be seen by all. And those that rose with me played into the resistance. So you better believe the resistance thinks it's winning. Is it? It can only stop you, but not the ascension. I hope to see you in the new earth, my friends. Keep your eyes to the skies, keep your eyes on the prize, and pay attention to the planetary alignment and the inauguration. It's going to be beautiful and big changes. Oh, big changes are coming. Like they are coming like every day in some way, shape, or form. So buckle up, my friends, and enjoy the ride. Safety first, keeping your energy on the inside. You have to be pure sovereign. You truly do, because the healing yesterday was very big, and that's why they blocked it from you. And if I sparked your shadow in it, it shows you what you need to do because everything is a reflection of you. So if that one sparked a shadow in you, you've got big healing to do. They also said there will be a division in that community and you will see it far and wide. So much love. Bye bye.